Sangat
Sangat
Tyagat
Yaga
Satu
Viti
Tabe Bhakti Prasidyati.
Tadvi Bhakti Prasidhyati Utsahanistaya Darya
Nishayadaya.
Tatat Karma Pravartanat Sangat Yaga Satvite Sadbi Bhakti Prasidhyati.
Okay, now everybody can see it on the screen?
Yes, man.
Okay. Word for word. Utsahat,
Utsaha.
by enthusiasm.
By enthusiasm.
Nishayat, by confidence.
By confidence.
By confidence.
Daryat,
Daya.
by patience.
By patience.
By patience.
Tat karma,
Karma.
various activities favorable for devotional service.
Various activities favorable for devotional service.
Pravartanat,
Prabhupada.
by performing.
By performing.
Sangha chagat,
Sangatyaga.
by giving up the association of non-devotees.
By
giving up the association of non-devotees.
Tata, of the great previous acharyas.
Of the great
Of
previous
the great
acharyas.
previous acharyas.
Of the great previous acharyas.
Now I see Bhakti Arthur on the screen, but I don't see the page. What happened?
Hare Krishna Swami.
Yeah, now where do you see the book on the screen still?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
Swami.
there it is. All right. We'll do it that way. Okay. Read the translation.
Hare Krishna. Please, I'm reading. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of devotional service. 1. Being enthusiastic. 2. Endeavoring with confidence. 3. Being patient. 4. Acting according to regulative principles, such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. 5. Abandoning the association of non-devotees. And 6. Following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service.
All right. So I'm just going to read a little bit. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a book that comments on these 2 verses. It's called Bhaktyaloka. Regarding utsaha, one becomes negligent in his worship without utsaha. Negligence is born out of inactivity, apathy, or indifference. Laziness and inertia are called inactivity. When utsaha is generated, laziness and inertia cannot remain. The absence of desire to work is inertia. This inertia is opposite to the nature of spirit. If one allows this inertia to remain in his body or heart, then how can he perform devotional service? The state of apathy develops from carelessness. One should practice devotional service without deviation. This is instructed in Bhagavad Gita, tam vidyat dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga sangitam sanischayena yuktavyo yogo nirvana chetasa. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with determination and faith.
I don't know, my boot box in the water. I beg, no vex.
Okay, so let's read the purport.
Hare Krishna.
Devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Go ahead,
Hare
Baba.
Krishna. All right. Hare. Devotional service is not a matter of sentimental speculation or imaginative ecstasy. Its substance is practical activity. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11 has defined devotional service as follows. Anya bila sita sunyan, jana karmadi anavritam, anukulena krishnanu, silanam bhakti utama. Uttama Bhakti, or unalloyed devotion unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, involves the rendering of devotional service in a way that is favorable to the Lord. This devotional service should be free from any extraneous motive and devoid of fruitive karma, impersonal jnana, and all other selfish desires. Bhakti is a sort of cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must. Hare Krishna. All right, please, I should continue.
Yeah, one more paragraph.
Bhakti is a sort of cultivation. As soon as we say cultivation, we must refer to activity. Cultivation of spirituality does not mean sitting down idly for meditation, as some pseudo-yogis teach. Such idle meditation may be good for those who have no information of devotional service. And for this reason, it is sometimes recommended as a way to check distracting materialistic activities. Meditation means stopping all nonsensical activities, at least for the time being. Devotional service, however, not only puts an end to all nonsensical mundane activities, but also engages one in meaningful devotional activities. Sri Prahlad Maharaj recommends Shravanam Ketanam Vishnu, Smaranam Padasevanam, Achanam Vandanam Dasya, Sakyam Atma Nevedanam. The 9 processes of devotional service are as follows. 1. Hearing the name and glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 2. Chanting his glories. 3. Remembering the Lord. 4. Serving the Lord's feet. 5. Worshipping the deity. 6. Offering obeisances unto the Lord. 7. Acting as the Lord's servant. 8. Making friends with the Lord. 9. Surrendering oneself fully to the Lord.
Okay. Comment?
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Yeah. Okay, so we have here these 9 processes of devotional service. Who knows? Prahlad Maharaj said these. And we're given examples of different devotees who perfected their life by each one. So we can have a little quiz. Who knows? Who perfected by chanting?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes,
Please, it's Sukadev Goswami.
right. Now, so that shows it's not just kirtan. Chanting is not just, singing kirtan. He was just speaking Bhagavatam, which is also chanting.
Remembering of the Lord. One.
And who perfected by hearing?
Hare Krishna, Parishit Maharaj.
Maya.
Right. Because he heard the Bhagavatam very attentively. Then, by remembering,
Prahlad Maharaj.
yeah. I don't know if they're showing that movie in Africa yet, the Nrsimha Maha Avatar movie.
Not yet, Gurudev.
Maharaj,
Looking for it, so they are not.
Maharaj, please, it's on trailer.
If you have Netflix, you can find it on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when it'll come to the theaters. It should be. You can talk to the Indian people, see if they can get it in. But I heard it's on Netflix. I don't know how you get on Netflix, but okay. Serving the Lord's feet. Who's serving the Lord's feet?
Maharaj. Maharaj.
Yeah.
Lakshmi Devi.
Lakshmi Devi.
That's right. Worshipping the deity. Who's worshipping the deity?
Maharaj. Pritu Maharaj.
I hear somebody talking Pritu Maharaj. I can barely hear it. But
You're supposed to tell her that. I beg you. See, in the
no, that one came on really loud. Okay. Offering obeisances.
Maharaj, please, Akura.
Making
Akura.
Who is offering obeisances?
Akura.
Usually it says prayers, offering prayers. But of course, obeisances.
It's best you move the earpiece. It's best you move the earpiece so that we can hear you louder. When you use the earpiece, you can't hear you.
Smarana Vandanam
Okay.
is offering prayers. Who's that?
Akura. Maharaj,
Dr. Raghupati says Akura.
Bhakti Raghava. You know?
Dr. Raghupati, you can remove your earpiece.
I hear some people talking, but it's almost can't hear anything. And then others come on like super loud.
The earpiece. You can answer Maharaj now.
Akura. Maharaj.
Anyway, could you hear me?
Yes, Gurudev, we can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but whoever is saying that, it's like you're talking through a string in a tin can or something. Somebody talk? Let's see who's there. Chaitanya Prema, say something.
I guess I'm good. Can you hear me?
Whoever's the host, I see you're talking, but I can't hear it.
Oh. I guess I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can barely hear it. Who is that?
Is Janmastami.
Yeah, and you're on the Base Africa host?
Yes,
I don't know
yes.
what's wrong, but somebody else talk. Ananga Mohini? Bhakti Brown? You have to unmute. Bhakti Raghupati, now you're unmuted. Say something.
Maharaj.
Haribol?
Prabhu
Yeah.
Party, you can talk too.
Okay,
Akura.
you're very loud.
It's Akura, Maharaj.
Okay, I can hear that. Bhakti Brown?
Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, very clear. All right, so anyway, who's noted for praying? Offering obeisances.
Akura.
That's right. And the Lord's servant?
Maharaj, please. Hanuman.
That's right, he's the most famous servant. Making friends with the Lord.
Maharaj, please.
Arjuna.
Right, and surrendering fully?
Bali Maharaj.
Bali Maharaj.
Ali Maharaj.
Okay, good. All right, so in the purport, in the beginning, we have that verse, Anyam Vilasita Sunyam, Gyanakamadyanavritam. That verse is one of the most often quoted verses defining what is pure devotional service. No karma, no jnana, not trying to get a result. Only trying to please Krishna. That's what pure devotion is. It's not complicated. Okay, next reader. Who is going to read next?
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Shravanam, or hearing, is the first step in acquiring transcendental knowledge. One should not give oral reception to unauthorized person, but should approach the proper person as recommended in Bhagavad Gita 4:34. Tadvidi prani patena pariprasena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnani nastatva dasina. Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master, inquire from him submissively, and render service unto him. The self-realized soul will impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. It is further recommended in the...
Okay, wait.
Okay.
This verse, 434, at least when I first joined the Hare Krishna, the first verse anybody learned from Bhagavad Gita was Sarvadharmam Parichaja Mamekam, surrender to me. And the next one was this verse, Tadvidi Panipratina. You have to approach the spiritual master. But the secret is Pariprashnena Sevaya, humble service and submissive inquiry. You want to learn. And then you get the mercy. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. It is further recommended in the Mundaka Upanishad Tadvignanatam Nagurum Evabi Gashit. To understand the transcendental science, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master. Thus, this method of submissively receiving transcendental confidential knowledge is not merely based on mental speculation. In this regard, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva, Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. In the course of traversing the universal creation of Brahma, some fortunate soul may receive the seed of Bhakti Lata, the kripa of devotional service. This is all by the grace of Guru and Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19:151. The material world is a place of confinement for the living entities who are by nature Ananda Maya, pleasure-seeking. They actually want to be free from the confinement of this world, of conditional happiness, but not knowing the process of liberation. They are bound to transmigrate from one species of life to another, and from one planet to another. In this way, the living entities are wandering throughout the material universe. When, by good fortune, one comes in contact with a pure devotee and hears from him patiently, one begins to follow the path of devotional service. Such an opportunity is offered to a person who is sincere. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is giving such a chance to humanity at large. If by fortune one takes advantage of this opportunity and engage in devotional service, the path of liberation immediately opens. One should accept this opportunity to return home back to Godhead very enthusiastically. Without enthusiasm, one cannot be successful. Even in the material world, one has to be very enthusiastic in his particular field of activity in order to become successful. A student, businessman, artist, or anyone else who wants success in his line must be enthusiastic. Similarly, one has to be very enthusiastic in devotional service. Enthusiasm means action, but action for whom? The answer is that one should always ask for Krishna. Krishna Takila Shishta, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In all phases of life, one has to perform devotional activities under the direction of the spiritual master in order to attain perfection in Bhakti Yoga. It is not that one has to confine or narrow one's activities. Krishna is all-pervading, therefore, nothing is independent of Krishna. As Krishna himself states in Bhagavad Gita 9:4, Mayatatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta mutina matstani sarva bhutani nachayam stve avastita. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Under the direction of a bona fide spiritual master, one has to make everything favorable for Krishna service. For example, at present, we are using a dictaphone. The materialist who invented this machine intended it for businessmen or writers of mundane subject matter. He certainly never thought of using this dictaphone in God's service. But we are using this dictaphone to write Krishna conscious literature. Of course, the manufacture of the dictaphone is wholly within the energy of Krishna. All the parts of the instrument, including the electronic functions, are made by different combination of interaction of the 5 basic types of material energy, namely Bhumi, Jala, Agni, Vayu, and Akasha. The inventory used his brain to make this complicated machine, and his brain, as well as the ingredients, were supplied by Krishna. According to the statement of Krishna, Matstani Sarva Bhutani, everything is depending on my energy. Thus, the devotee can understand that since nothing is independent of Krishna's energy, everything should be dovetailed in his service.
Okay, that's a lot. Would somebody like to ask a question about all that or make a comment? Otherwise, I can just summarize a little bit. Brahmanda Brahmati Kon Bhagavan Jeev, that's another common one. We're traveling from one body to the next, even one universe to the next. Finally, when the desire, some kind of desire is there for getting out of the suffering of the material world, the super soul helps us, arranges us to meet a guru. And then by the mercy of the guru, we learn about Krishna. We need both. We need mercy, but we need the mercy of the guru and the mercy of Krishna. Guru teaches us to worship Krishna. Krishna teaches us how to serve the guru. So it's Guru Krishna, but it's a special mercy that we get a guru. Another verse that's very important that's quoted is the Bhagavad Gita 9:4. Maya tatamidak sarvam jagadavyuktamurtina matstana sarva bhutani nachaham te savastita. This is I call it the Chincha Veda Veda Tattva verse. Krishna, his unmanifested form, is everywhere, but everything is in him, but he's not in them. He's inside and he's outside. And we can learn how to understand that from the spiritual master. And then he quotes it again. Everything is depending on my energy. That's about enthusiasm. I think there's one more paragraph. Enthusiasm and confidence means, we want to do it. We think, I want to serve Krishna. Why? Because we see the other devotees are serving and they're happy, or we read about it or whatever. And if we endeavor with intelligence, it's called utsaha, enthusiasm. Okay, someone else read, starting with these activities must be executed with patience.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, sounds good.
These activities must be executed with patience. One should not be impatient in Krishna consciousness. Indeed, this Krishna consciousness movement was stated single-handedly, and in the beginning, there was no response. But because we continued to execute our devotional activities with patience, people gradually began to understand the importance of this movement. And now they are eagerly participating. One should not be impatient in discharging devotional service, but should take instructions from the spiritual master and execute them with patience. Depending on the mercy of Guru and Krishna, the successful executions of Krishna consciousness activities requires both patience and confidence. A newly married girl naturally expects offspring from her husband, but she cannot expect to have them immediately after marriage. Of course, as soon as she is married, she can attempt to get a child, but she must surrender to her husband, confident that her child will develop and be born in due time. Similarly, in devotional service, surrender means that one has to become confident. The devotee think Avyasya Rak Siva Krishna. Krishna will surely protect me and give me help for the successful execution of devotional service. This is called confidence. As
Okay,
already
wait, let's get some comment. Just try to repeat it in a more concise way, basic ideas. Patience is like the most important. Bhakti Vinod said it's extremely necessary. A sober person is patient. If we don't have patience, we become restless and we can't work. Okay, so I can say something, but it gives the example of Prabhupada. He started this movement all by himself, and Krishna made all the arrangements, but he didn't start off with, a big bang and that he's a big incarnation of God and comes with big money and followers to America or something. He came with nothing, no money, no followers, no reputation. But he never quit. He had patience. That he's doing what the guru wanted him to do, what the guru ordered him. So he didn't even worry if it was going to get results or not. Although he had the vision, he told one man that he met in the park, Prabhupada's business card said International Society centers all over the world, but he didn't even have a center in New York at the time. But he had that vision. So we should not be impatient. Like the woman that wants a baby right away. There's a good example in the Mahabharata of Gandhari. She was actually pregnant, and she very much wanted her son to become the next king. And then she heard that Kunti had a child already, Yudhishthir. And then that meant that Yudhishthir is the next heir born, so he would be the next king. And she was so angry, she started beating on her belly with the pregnancy, and all that came out was a lump of flesh. Didn't get any children. Of course, she got Vasudev helped her, but she wasn't patient. She couldn't wait for the child to come out on his own. Okay, who one can read next? Any comment, Otis? Should be able to say something. It's like our preaching in Africa. It's not like taking off madly, like you know, had thousands of people come into the temple and money just pouring in. But devotees keep trying and things are building up. It's only a few lifetimes, maybe. It's not a big deal. Okay, someone else read now, as already explained.
Okay. As already explained, please can you hear me? Please can you hear me?
We're hearing you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
We can
yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
Okay. As already explained, one should not be idle, but should be very enthusiastic about executing the regulative principles. Tat karma pravartana. Neglect of the regulative principles will destroy devotional service. In this Krishna consciousness movement, there are four basic regulative principles: forbidding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. A devotee must be very enthusiastic about following these principles. If he becomes slack in following any of them, his progress will certainly be checked. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore recommends Tatat Karma Pravartanat. One must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. In addition to these four prohibitions or yama, there are positive regulative principles, that's niyama, such as the daily chanting of 16 rounds on Japa Mala beads. This regulative activity must be faithfully performed and with enthusiasm. This is called Tatat Karma Pravartana, or varied engagement in devotional service. Furthermore, in order to be successful in devotional service, one must give up the association of undesirable people. This includes karmis, dhyanis, yogis, and other non-devotees. Once, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asked by one of his householder devotees about the general principle of Vaishnavism, as well as the general routine activities of the Vaishnava. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately replied, Asat Sangha Tyaga, a Vaishnava Achara. Characteristically, a Vaishnava is one who gives up the association of worldly people or non-devotees. Srila Narottama Das Thakura has therefore recommended Kandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sane Vasa. One has to live in the company of pure devotees and execute the regulative principles laid down by the previous acharyas, the six Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Diva Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Das Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, and Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. If one lives in the association of devotees, there is little chance of associating with non-devotees. The International Society for Krishna Consciousness is opening many centers just to invite people to live in the company of devotees and practice the regulative principles of spiritual life. Devotional service means transcendental activity. On the transcendental platform, there is no contamination by the three modes of material nature. This is Vishuddha Sattva, the platform of pure goodness, or goodness free from contamination by the qualities of passion and ignorance. In the consciousness movement, we require everyone to rise early in the morning by 4 a.m. and attend Mangala Arati or morning worship, then read Srimad Bhagavatam, perform Kirtan, and so forth. Thus, we hold continuous activities in devotional service 24 hours daily. This is called Satovritti, or following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas who expertly filled every moment of time with Krishna conscious activities. If one strictly follows the advice given in this verse by confidence, being patient, giving up the association of unwanted persons, following the regulative principles, and remaining in the association of devotees, one is sure to advance in devotional service. In this regard, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura remarks that the cultivation of knowledge by philosophical speculation, the collection of mundane opulence by the advancement of fruitive activities, and the desire of yoga siddhis, material perfection, are all contrary to the principles of devotional service. One has to become thoroughly callous to such non-permanent activities and turn his intentions instead to the regulative principles of devotional service. According to Bhagavad Gita 269, Yani Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Samyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sanisa Pashyato Mune. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control, and the time of awakening for all beings is night for the introspective sage. Engagement in the devotional service of the Lord is the life and soul of the living entity. It is the desired goal and supreme perfection of human life. One has to become confident about this, and one also has to be confident that all activities other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, fruitive work, or mystic endeavors, will never yield any enduring benefit. Complete confidence in the path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal, but attempting to follow other paths will only succeed in making one restless. In the seventh canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, one must become convinced that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerities for other purposes are not purified in their minds, despite their advanced austerities, because they have no information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. It
Okay,
is
Haribol.
further stated.
Thank you. Wait. Thank you very much. That's a lot. So let's see who can comment on anything that we just read. It was a very long reading and very important.
Oh, okay. Maharaj, please,
Yep.
what they are trying to say here is that we following the four regulative principles as said, we have the yama and the niyama. And then Srila Rupa Goswami has recommended that there is a saying called Tatat Karma Pravartanat. That's one must strictly follow the regulative principles of Vaidhi Bhakti. Now, we have four prohibited, that's Yama, that's the regulative principles, and we have the positive one, that's Niyama. Therefore, we have in ISKCON is they have prohibited illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. These four are not good in spiritual life. Whilst the one is we always chanting the 16 rounds minimum every day. And therefore, they are also talking about the association we have with the devotees. Actually, sadhus, we have to associate with pure devotees so that we can also get a glimpse of how Krishna consciousness movement tastes like. When we associate with
Haribol. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
So,
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So like these regulated principles, people will ask us, well, what's wrong with sex? Right? It's a common question, I think. You have to have sex, right? Now, of course, we say illicit sex. There's different definitions of illicit sex. Some say it simply means with your wife, you can have sex as much as you want, day and night. The real thing is only for having children. No birth control, no abortions, all those things. But I remember once I was with Vishnu John Swami, and someone asked, what's wrong with sex? At that time, we didn't have AIDS. They talked about another one called herpes. And herpes, you would get so much itching and terrible sores, and it was spreading a lot. And so he just said, well, there's a lot of diseases. And then people kind of said, oh, yeah, right, There's many diseases. They call it sexual transmitted diseases. But then there's also that it makes one think the body is very wonderful and we can get so much pleasure from this body. Sex is the greatest pleasure we can get in the material world. And then they think, why do I need spiritual life? This body will give me so much pleasure. Then they'll also ask, like, what's wrong with meat eating? What do we tell them?
Maharaj,
If you're going a class in a high school and somebody says, what's wrong with eating meat? What would you say? Or if you're on the radio or the television? Somebody? OGSV? Haribol?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Okay, somebody I got 2 or 3 people there.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Decide who can speak and go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj is Raja Guyam. I would say the issue with eating meat is the fact that they kill the animals.
It's not violent.
Yeah. But God gave us the animals to eat.
Maharaj,
Hey, yes,
Yeah.
Maharaj. So the animals, the killing we violate the rights of the animals because the animals also have the super soul which exists within the human as well. So we as devotees we are made to understand that our consciousness is higher than that of the animal. Srila Prabhupada was explaining in the science of self-realization. He said the consciousness of the animals that of the humans are greater than the animals, and the animals are greater than the trees. He gave an instance of a animal like goats in the slaughterhouses. They can be killed, but the next one who is there does not have the consciousness that is also waiting to be killed. But a human, even if a cripple, they can look for a way to escape. So that is how the consciousness differs. But on the that of the tree is just standing, and every day people go to cut part of it. It cannot even say it's paining or something like that because of the difference of consciousness. So here, eating the animal first, you have to take the life of the animal, which is of course is offensive. That is why we do not eat the animal, because you have to kill before you eat, and killing is an offense. So that is my understanding.
That's all true, but if you're speaking to the public who, like, we were in a university class in Lagos one time, and one of them said, well, the Bible says you have to eat meat.
Maharaj?
No, the Bible in the Christian Bible also, Genesis chapter 1 text chapter 1 verse 29 says that for you human I have given you the seed yielding trees, for this shall be your mate. So even the Bible recommends that the human should eat vegetables and those fruits that is from tree. And the same Bible says that thou shall not kill. So that thou shall not kill is what we are emphasizing in the public, because we quote the Christian Bible as well that speaks about non-violence. Thou shall not kill means non-violence. So when you kill the animal, you violate the rights of the animal. So what happened to the soul of the animals? The priests of the cows also, before they kill the animal, they will say a prayer to the animal. In my next life, I should take your body and you should take my body.
That's in the Vedic.
Yeah. So we try to let them understand.
The Christian people think, like Jewish people think, well, it's special benediction that the animal can be food for the Jewish people. The soul gets benefit.
Because they are not following the Bible as well. They don't follow the Bible as it is. So many verses contradict another one. Genesis is like the creation impetus, which speaks about how the world of firmament, how God created humans and say, go you into the world and multiply. So in that same verse, that Genesis chapter 1 just look like the creation impetus. That is where it says, for you, human, I have given you the seed yielding trees, for they shall be your mate. And the animals, they are food for the animals as well.
So I'll tell you what I said when this Christian guy in the university said, the Bible says you have to eat meat. I said, where does it say that? And nobody could say. It's just that, and I'll tell you, historically, you can understand just to get, because you're in the Christian countries.
Yeah.
Like when Prabhupada used to call sweet meat, the gulab janam or something. You have the meat of the mango, it's called. Nowadays, that word's not used the same, but meat in the Hebrew, I was in Israel and I had the Bible in my computer, and I looked up verses where it said meat, and it's it's so much. I saw one Bible where they put meat in bold print every time it said meat, just pounding it in like some demon, meat, meat, meat. But when you look up the Hebrew, the same verse, it said things like they had bread, they had breakfast, they had dinner, they went for lunch, they sat down to eat. There's something like 26 Hebrew words which are translated into English as meat.
Yeah.
But none of them refer to the flesh of animals. That's quite amazing.
Yes.
So yeah, they had their meat, like a meeting. But then somehow or other, like in different languages, in French, the word for meat is just corpse or something like that, dead body. But still they'll eat it, So it's dead flesh. It's rotten, dead flesh, But somehow people are brainwashed. But it's not really meant for him. Then there's all the health benefits. Then they'll say, well, if you don't eat meat, you'll be weak. But there's so many examples of sports stars that are vegetarians, vegans, people winning the triathlons, and even professional boxers and football players. Many are vegetarian. So those kind of things we can say to it more hits home. If we start talking about the soul and all these things, and a lot of people, they don't want to hear that. But it's all true. So it depends on what kind of audience you have. Prabhupada's stuck on this thou shalt not kill a lot if he was talking to a Christian priest. But then they just say it really says murder. And murder only refers to humans, they say. No, I don't know about that. In the dictionary, murder just means a premeditated killing. And the slaughterhouse is definitely premeditated. They plan out to kill the animal. They don't just get in a fight with the tiger or with a cow and then kill it accidentally. They plan. Okay, then what else is there? Gambling. I had the radio a couple of times in Africa ask me, what's wrong with gambling? It's fun. Right? Who can say? You're on the radio and they ask you, it's the GBC radio in Ghana, what's wrong with gambling?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
So, personally in Nigeria, we find out that gambling increases people's propensity to cheat. And
Right.
as devotees, this is what we are trying to curb. We do not want to engage in illegal activities in the name of making money or trying to be outsmart another person like this. So we prohibit gambling so as to curb that human tendency to always cheat and overuse the other living entities. So in a nutshell, it is just to curb that propensity to cheat. Hare Krishna. Right.
That's good. So meat eating destroys compassion. It's violent. And illicit sex destroys cleanliness. And gambling destroys honesty, truthfulness. And the other thing is you cannot win by gambling. The odds are that you can't win. In the long run, if you're really gambling, you can never win. So gambling is, just to be scientific, it's of all these sinful activities, it's the most addictive, most difficult to give up. And people they just, like a man will just lie and tell his family and secretly selling his house and getting money and gambling more and more and thinking tomorrow I'm going to win everything and I'm going to be rich, until finally there's nothing left. I think it's in England, there's many suicide in the gambling parking lot. And now in Nigeria, the last few times I've been there, there's so much gambling, right? Bet Niger, bet this, bet that. Everywhere there's a place for gambling. I think people don't believe that the church is going to make them rich anymore, so they're thinking gambling will make them rich.
Yes, man.
But the church was gambling. You know, the pastor says, you give everything to me, sign over all your property and give all your money and I'll make you rich, you know, and some foolish people do that. But gambling is the most addictive. They did experiment with rats, I guess. In their cage, they had 2 levers. But first they had a lever that if they pushed on it, they would get food. So they would push on it, they'd get food. When they weren't hungry, they would not, they'd only push on it when they got hungry. Then another cage, they had a lever that sometimes it would give food and sometimes it didn't. That's like gambling. So then the rat would go crazy and just pound on that lever all day long. And that's what happens with gambling. Sometimes you think you won, so you just want to do it again and again. I'm going to win again. I'm going to get rich. It never works. So we can give those kind of statistics. They always, talk about corruption in Africa and a lot. So in South Africa, they have in all the buses, stop corruption. They have big signs. So, it's dishonesty. People are cheating. And what's the other one? Gambling, illicit sex, meat eating, intoxication. It's kind of obvious. They'll say, well, what's wrong with a little bit, drinking a little bit, right? Who can say?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Yes. I would like to say that drinking alcohol will make you not be austere. You will forget austerities. So even you cannot chant if you are drunk. That's why this intoxication is not good. Hare Krishna.
It's also dangerous. So many people are killed by drunk drivers. Most violence in the home, the husband beating the wife is when the husband is drunk, on and on and on. And then people that get addicted to the intoxication, they end up having to steal to support their, habit. So many things. And everybody knows, but the government still, they license, intoxication shop. Because if they don't license it, people will just do it unlicensed to make something that might kill people directly. All right, anyone else want to say something about other things that are mentioned here?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Please, intoxication also increases how they think it's enjoyment, but meanwhile, it's making them degraded because sometimes it brings health issues like it makes their lungs, like smoking for instance, it makes their lungs dry. It brings heart problems and all those stuff. It's killing them slowly, but meanwhile they don't know and they think it's enjoyment. So it also
huh.
brings damage to health.
Smoking especially, intoxication. Like I said, there's so many accidents. But then people become addicted, then the big problems. Who is speaking there?
Intoxication also, one can be excessively wealthy, or be intoxicated by power, political power. Because
Another type of intoxication. Yeah.
yes, that's another type of intoxication. Yeah. So one can be so influential and become puffed up. Even excessive beauty. A very beautiful woman is intoxicated by her beauty at times, and then she felt that this is me. Recognizing herself. But as Vaishnavas, we're always advised, and then we know the philosophy of I am not this body. So she is recognizing herself, her beauty, so it becomes an intoxication to her as well. So that is another part of intoxication also.
Well, you're just about explaining one of the verses by Queen Kunti, right?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah. What is that verse? Janma Isvarya Shuti Shibir Edamana Mundak Puman. If one is too much absorbed and it says that, in high birth or wealth or big education or beauty, then they cannot chant the holy name with feeling. They're thinking, I don't need anything. I'm a big man. I'm popular. I'm beautiful.
Is it?
Beautiful people are so afraid of losing their beauty. Okay, Elvis. Oh. All right.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, I would like you to, if you can, please throw a little more emphasis on the concept of patience. I wanted to hear a little more on that. Devotees being, practicing devotional service, and while doing that, we should always be patiently patiently waiting for the results. Can you say a little more on that?
Okay, well, I'm just looking at Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He wrote commentary on these two verses. So he goes back to the first verse, a sober person who can tolerate. So that's patience, tolerance. And then so we have to tolerate the urge of the mind. If we can't tolerate the urges of the mind, how can we do devotional service? In Kali Yuga, especially, intolerance is a huge factor. We have all this, how they call it, dopamine. We can scroll down the internet and get so many quick something. We can see a big fight, we can see this, we can see that, and get the news and and forget everything else. So to tolerate and try to fix the mind on Krishna. Patience. The mind has to have urges, so we have to direct it towards Krishna. But we have to be patient. Just like the pregnancy. Yeah, the woman won't get pregnant necessarily the first day she's married. Nowadays, of course, many are already pregnant when they get married. But the baby, you have to wait for the baby to come out. You try to take it out early, it won't be a baby. And all the stories of people who are successful materially, like athletes, they practice so much, and they don't become champions like overnight either, but they just keep tolerating and practicing. So
Raj,
That's patience. Patience means tolerance. So the only way you can really tolerate is to think of Krishna and understand that whatever is temporary. Loss and gain, success and failure, they're all temporary. Now, one time we had a class, it got mixed up like patience. The doctor has patience, but that's different. That's the people that come to the doctor. But this is patience, means tolerance. Knowing, that we're going to get there. So confidence means, okay, I believe that the Bhagavad Gita, I believe in the Guru, I believe this practice will work. And I may not be able to perceive how it's working on me at the moment, but I believe it. I can see how it's worked on others. And a devotee really thinks I may have to wait many lifetimes, but he doesn't worry about it because even many lifetimes is a very small part of eternity. So when Bhaktivinoda talks about patience, he's always referring to controlling these 6 things that are mentioned in the first verse. And Yajrichaya, have to be satisfied with whatever comes. Prabhupada exhibited extreme patience. Say if you're raising a child, if you're a teacher, the teacher has to be very tolerant, very patient for the children, because they don't always do exactly what you want, like right away. Marriage, when they talk to people that have been married for a long time, they all say forgiveness, tolerance, patience. When they ask them, how did you stay married for so long? They tolerated, they were patient. They didn't try to change the other person like to be exactly what I want. They just tried to appreciate.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
There's a nice verse by Narottam Das Thakur. I will engage lust, anger, greed, and illusion, and madness, and envy, and pride in different ways. And by defeating these enemies, I will feel happiness in my heart as I peacefully worship Govinda. I will engage lust by offering it in Krishna's service. Anger I will direct toward those who are envious of the devotees. It doesn't mean we go out and kill people or fight, but we get enlivened that we have to preach more because people are envious, people are misleading everybody. I will be greedy to hear the topics of Hari in association of devotees. I will feel illusioned without achieving any worshipable Lord. I will be maddened while singing the glories of Krishna. In this way, I will engage these enemies in the proper places. The confidential meaning of this song is that the duty of an intelligent person is to direct these urges away from their respective subjects and make them favorable to devotional service. That can only be done with patience. And there's another meaning applicable to this word patience. Those who engage in sadhana desire to attain the results. Karmis hope to get heavenly happiness. Gyanis hope to attain liberation. And devotees hope to please Krishna by their devotion. Being impatient due to prolonged sadhana, some people fall down from the path of to the ultimate goal. Therefore, a practicing devotee who desires to achieve his goal attains that result only when he becomes patient. Wait for Krishna's mercy. Krishna must be merciful to me either today or after 100 years or some other birth. I will take shelter of lotus feet with determination and never leave. That type of patient is most desirable for the practitioners of devotional service. I think that's more of an answer directly. Right? That's from Bhakti Vinod Thakur.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Hare Krishna,
Okay.
Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Yes.
If you allow me, I would like to come back on the issue of eat meeting.
Okay.
Some of my classmates gave some reference to the Bible where it is said that we should not eat meat. So I would like to thank him because, we are in contact with Christians, and when they ask us how do we know that we should not eat meat, so I find myself in trouble because I cannot give any reference in the Bible to affirm this. So I thank my classmate for that. Okay, I would like to say also that we should not eat meat because it is included in the foods that are to cultivate the mode of ignorance. I don't know whether, okay, that is good.
Yeah. When we're dealing with Christians or Muslims, even Hindus who eat meat, it's best not to refer to their scripture because they've been misdirected and misled so much in the name of their scripture. So, but the violence part, the animal is suffering, and so when the animal dies, it's all fearful and all kinds of terrible chemicals are produced in their body, and we eat that. Scientifically, if you look at the teeth of a tiger or a cat or a dog, right? Anybody ever notice? Or a lion? What kind of teeth do they have? Haribol? Haribol?
Maharaj,
Yes.
Maharaj,
Yeah, what kind of teeth do the meat-eating animals have?
Maharaj,
Okay.
please,
Maharaj, they have canines for breaking bones.
Canine, yes, canine.
They have
Canine.
canines for breaking bones.
They're all sharp, right?
Sharp
Yeah.
canines. They have
Yeah,
sharp,
they're all,
strong teeth.
there's no flat teeth. And look at a meat of a vegetarian animal. What kind of teeth do they have?
They have teeth that are not very sharp.
Yeah, they're flat. All of them are flat practically.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
they
mean,
have flat.
Grinding.
the front teeth can cut, an apple or something, but you can't just rip meat off the body of an animal, right? And the human's teeth also, they're similar to the goat's teeth or the cow's teeth. We have these 4 teeth they call canine, but they're not sharp. They're not at all like a tiger's tooth. All their teeth are really sharp. Dog's teeth, if a dog bites you, it goes really deep, right? So and just the body is not meant, it's not designed for eating meat. The violence is, and you can say, well, yeah, you can eat meat. According to the Vedas, if you want to eat meat, though, you have to kill the animal yourself. Then it's not as bad, you know. And then there are people who are living in some kind of jungle environment or desert where there's really nothing else to eat. And the Jehovah's Witness, no, not the Jehovah's Witnesses, Seventh-day Adventist, they have a good book about not eating meat based on the Bible. So maybe we should get that book and read it. If you have to have something, you can say what this is what these Christian people say. Okay. All right.
Yes, Hare
Someone
Krishna.
else.
Thank you, Gurudev.
So who can read next?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, that's too many microphones are open. Who's
Okay.
gonna speak? One person.
Please, can we mute
The
our
host, you can mute,
microphone?
host,
please?
please mute all the mic.
I'm gonna mute everyone, and then who would like to speak?
Hare
They
Krishna
can
Maharaj.
unmute. Damodar. Okay.
Yes, Maharaj.
You're very clear
Um,
also.
Okay, I'm starting from engagement in devotional service, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Wherever
yeah.
it left. Wherever,
Okay.
wherever it left. Okay.
Engagement in the devotional service of the Lord is the life and soul of the living entity. It is the desired goal and supreme perfection of human life. One has to become confident about this. And one has to be confident that all activities other than devotional service, such as mental speculation, fruitive work, or mystic endeavor, will never yield any enduring benefit. Complete confidence in the path of devotional service will enable one to attain his desired goal. But attempting to follow other paths will only succeed in making one restless. In the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated, one must be calmly convinced that those who have given up devotional service to engage in severe austerities for other purposes are not purified in their minds, despite their advanced austerities, because they have no information of the transcendental loving service of the Lord. It is further stated in the 10th canto, although mental speculators and fruitive actors may perform great austerities and penance, they still fall down because they do not have information about the lotus feet of the Lord. The devotees of the Lord, however, never fall down. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 31, the Supreme Personality of Godhead assures Arjuna, Konteya Prati. Sorry, excuse me. Can we scroll down a little bit? Yes. I think we need to scroll down a little more. Some more.
Okay, sorry.
Some more. I think we've kind of.
No, go up, brother.
Okay, up. Okay.
Are we there? Are you there now?
No. Yes. It's okay.
Sorry, second Sanskrit.
Go up.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, a little more. Okay. Can you come down a little more? Yes, too much. Okay, yeah, that's good. The Supreme Personality of Godhead assures Arjuna, Konteya Pratijanti Name Bhakta Pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotees never perishes. Again, in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 40, Krishna says, Neha Bikrama na susti pratiya vayo na vidyate swapam api asya dharmasya trayate manyato bayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this part can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. Devotional service is so pure and perfect that once one had having begun, one is forcibly dragged to ultimate happy success. Sometimes a person will give up his ordinary material engagement and out of sentiment take shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, and thus begin the preliminary execution of devotional service. Even if such an immature devotee falls down, there is no loss on his part. On the other hand, what is the gain of one who executes the prescribed duties according to his varna and ashrama, but does not take to devotional service? Although a fallen devotee may take his next birth in a low family, his devotional service will nonetheless resume from where it is left off. Devotional service is a haituki apratihata. It is not the effect of any mundane cause, nor can it be terminated by any mundane cause, or permanently curtailed by any material interruption. Therefore, a devotee should be confident about his engagement and should not be very interested in the activities of the karmis, gyanis, and yogis. There are certainly many good qualities among fruitive actors, philosophical speculators, and mystic yogis. But all good qualities automatically develop in the character of a devotee. No extraneous endeavor is needed, as confirmed by Srimad Bhagavatam 5:18-12. All the good qualities of the demigods manifest progressively in one who has developed pure devotional service. Because a devotee is not interested in any material activity, he does not become materially contaminated. He is immediately situated on the platform of transcendental life. However, one who engages in mundane activity, be he a so-called Gyani, Yogi, Karmi, philanthropist, nationalist, or whatever, cannot attain the highest stage of Mahatma. He remains a Duratma, or cripple-minded person. According to the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 13, Mahatmanas tu mam parta, Daivi prakritim ashrita, Vajanti ananyama anasu, Natwa butadim avyayam. O son of Pritha, can we scroll up a little bit? O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Since all the devotees of the Lord are under the protection of His supreme potency, they should not deviate from the path of devotional service and take to the path of the karmis, gyanis, or yogis. This is called utsahan nishchaya daryat. Tatat karma pravartanat. Enthusiastically executing the regulative activities with patience and confidence. In this way, one can advance in devotional service without hindrance. Hare Krishna.
Good. Okay. Comment?
So the text is still repeating on the devotee of the Lord should be confident in the practice of devotional service. We should we should engage in devotional service with confidence, believing that we have the highest form of God consciousness. It's the yogis, the karmis, the gyanis, and the rest of the other people. They can also attain a very high level of enlightenment due to the austerities and the penances they perform. But the devotees should be confident in our process because we have the highest. Because it is mentioned that no matter how high a karmi or gyani or yogi can get, they always fall down. But even a devotee who doesn't naturally have, inclination for devotional service, but who practices out of
So
March?
quite a bit you've read there.
Okay. Yes, March.
Let's just try to go over it. The severe austerities.
Yes, March.
Like
I-
Catholic monks, sometimes they do very austere things. Yogis, Buddhists. But our austerity is cooperating together for service of Krishna. Okay, let's see who hasn't spoken. Utpala, make some comments on what we just read. You got 10 minutes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj Dandava Pranam. Where I am is very noisy. That's why I've not been speaking. We are
Another
making a whole lot
important
of
verse
noise
from the
here.
Bhagavad Gita. Neha bhikamanasosti prativayana vidyate. Swalpam apishta dharmasya. There's no loss or diminution. Whatever you do for devotional service, it will stick with you even in your next life. It's not lost. Okay, anyone? I don't hear anybody. Raja Guyam, a good name. Raja Guyam.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev.
Okay, Anantajit, you're unmuted, so speak. Oh, now it's Upala. Utpala, you're unmuted. So give us a summary of this verse. You got a few minutes.
All glory to
All
Srila
right.
Prabhupada Maharaj. Maharaj, accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Maharaj, as you were saying.
I'm
Yes,
not
I'm
hearing
speaking,
anything.
Maharaj.
I don't know why.
Oh. I am speaking, Maharaj.
Utpala, what's
Yes,
going
Maharaj,
on?
I am speaking. I am speaking. I don't know. I was muted, but I'm speaking. I am unmuted now. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Prabhu, we can hear
Yeah,
you.
but
Please speak.
Hare Krishna,
Now I
Gurudev.
hear you. I don't know what
Good.
happened. It
can
got
Maharaj
cut
hear
off.
me? Maharaj is not hearing me.
Okay. So have you been speaking, Utpala?
Yes, Maharaj.
Give a summary of this sloka.
Maharaj, it is true what you were saying, that whatever we do for
Haribol?
Krishna, Krishna never. Can you hear me, Maharaj?
Utpala, please speak. Utpala, speak.
I
Maharaj
am
is
speaking,
Haribol.
but Maharaj is not hearing me.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. He's speaking. He's speaking.
Again, we're not
Can you hear him now?
Yeah, but she's not. But he is not hearing me. So that's it. I don't know why.
Now I hear you, but I didn't hear anything for a long
Okay,
time.
Prabhu, continue. He says he's hearing you now.
Okay, I was saying that it is true that any little that there is no loss or diminution, and there are like some examples like Draupadi when Krishna had his finger caught, when the Sudarshan Chakra returned after killing Sisupal, so Krishna had his finger caught and it was bleeding. And then Draupadi had to tear her sari and tie up the finger. So in the end, Krishna also reciprocated by giving her unlimited sari when she was being derobed by one of the Durodan's brothers. So whatever we do in devotional service, Maharaj, even if we don't get it back in this life, it could be gotten back in the next life. There is no loss, Maharaj, and there are many evidences, from devotees, their experiences. So Krishna is always reciprocating. It's always, giving us even more than we deserve. You do a little, he gives you much. So that is it, Maharaj. Hopefully
Yep.
hopefully I made some sense, Maharaj.
Yeah. Okay, 2 minutes. Who else would like to speak? Dr. Arthur? Not unmuting. Okay, so anyway, we finished that verse. Try to work on it over the week and memorize it.
Okay, Maharaj.
The next work is a much easier one to deal with.
Maharaj, I was also going to say something about the vegetarianism, about when you say if people ask us why should we not eat meat. So some of the things we say also is that it's one, Srila Prabhupada always emphasize on thou shalt not kill. It's written in the Bible, thou shalt not kill. So we see that to include animals and everything that has life. So if it were human beings, the language would have been maybe thou shalt not murder. Murder means killing human beings. And then secondly, the intestinal tract, the intestinal tract of herbivorous entities are like 12 times of the body, according to research, according to some scientific knowledge. And then that of the carnivorous animals is just about 6 times the length of the body. So there was this small book we had in the past, so it's all explained there. So the reason is that their intestinal tract is short, so that the carcass will go out very fast from the body. And also, mundanely speaking, they begin to warn people, don't eat red meat, don't eat meat. Doctors, now it's like a mode now in some places that scientifically they're asking people not to eat for health reasons. So there are health reasons, there are spiritual reasons for not eating meat. So these are some of the things we tell them, Maharaj, some of the answers we give them. And I think that's it, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Those are good. I think we should all look in the what is it, that the church that advocates vegetarian? I said it earlier, now I forgot. Not the Jehovah's, it's the Seventh-day Adventist.
Seventh-day Adventist.
Yeah, they have a book, and then there's, I think online you can find vegetarian Christians or something. There's actually a group that's very active, and they have a lot of reasons based on the Bible,
Okay.
One time I met a Christian guy, I think he was a pastor, he was in America. And at that time, I happened to know some Bible verse that was very strongly against meat. And I told him to open his Bible and read it. And he got really mad when he read it. He just said, "Get out of here, leave, don't talk." They're addicted, But there's so much now, it's not healthy, it's violent,
yes,
dirty,
Maharaj, one of the justifications they give is that in the Bible, in New Testament, it is said, "Peter, arise, kill and eat." So, but that did not mean, it doesn't mean kill and eat animals. So Peter was in a dream, and then he was very hungry. He was actually fasting. And then he had a dream, and he saw all manners of animals coming down from the heavens. And then there was a voice, "Peter, kill and eat." So this happened 3 good times. So while he was wandering, it was in Joppa. He was actually in Joppa. While he was wandering, then a messenger came and said that a Roman general has sent for him. So when he arrived, he just followed the messenger and went to the general, Cornelius. So it was on arrival at Cornelius' place that he revealed the import of that dream, that it was not rise, kill, and eat animals, because he said that Cornelius, as a Jew, I'm not supposed to preach the gospel to you, but God has showed me in my dream today that I should never call anything that God has created impure or unclean, meaning that the gospel should be preached to both Gentiles and non-Gentiles. So when they quote that verse, "Peter, arise, kill and eat," if you ask them to read down, so they see that they realize that no, it is not killing and eating meat, but they should not discriminate against anybody. They should preach
Well,
to
that's
both Gentiles and non-Gentiles.
anyway. The Kabbalah minister told me that when Cain and Abel, they both did a yagya, and the smoke from one of them did an animal sacrifice, and the other one did
Exactly.
without animals. And the smoke and the one without animals took the shape of a lion, and the smoke and the one with animals took the shape of a dog.
Wow.
That's what they say. But anyway, if people are still, convinced, the doctors, medical school, they teach people you have to eat meat. So, but we can give so many examples of, very healthy, powerful people that are vegetarian their whole life,
It is
Okay,
true, Maharaj. Even
thank
some
you
of
very
the big
much. Yeah,
scientists.
Olympic champions, Okay, we'll see you
Hare
tomorrow.
Krishna, Maharaj.
All right.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
So
Hare
memorize the
Krishna.
first over the next, memorize the first 2-3 slokas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare
Krishna,
Rama.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
His Holiness Kavichandra Maharaja Ki Jai.
Jai.
Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. We are very
Hare
grateful.
Krishna.
Please, let me do this.
Don't allow me to enter. Allow me to enter. I want to
I didn't,
Balabandra.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Balabandra. Are you
Hey.
hearing me, Babu Chichapema?
Balabanda, what
Are you
happened?
hearing me?
What happened?
Concerning it meeting, I want to say something concerning it meeting. Only one quotation from the Bible. It's not all. Only one quotation. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 18. Human being and animal have the same soul. Don't have right to kill them. Read that verses. If you can permit me to read it out, I will read it out for you.
Yes, read it, Prabhu. What is the quotation, please? The quotation. Will you mind repeating it for me?
Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 18. The same soul that carry human being, the same soul that carry animal. Don't have right over them. Don't kill them. Bible said it directly. Only one quotation, they will just shut up. No argument. Let me read it out. Want me to read it out?
Yes.
You permit me to read it out,
Read it out,
Yes.
read it
Are you
out,
hearing
read
me?
it out. Let's hear you.
I
Bala, read it